devoted and loyal and generous people you'll ever meet. So proud of them. This week is Teacher Appreciation Week. And I think today, particularly, is Teacher Appreciation Day. So, really thankful for all of our teachers all across the country. These people are working hard. So, you know, if you see, run into any of yours in your district, pat them on the back wherever they are, because they're doing a great job. I sent a list of May activities to you all, so I'm not going to go over all of those. If you haven't, just check your email and you'll see all of those. You're welcome to come to any of them. We'd love to have you. A couple of reminders though. We have sports physicals for Winfield 5th through 8th graders next Thursday at 9:30. And they do take a bus, go to Boys and Girls Club. Those physicals are free. So we want to encourage all the parents to turn in their paperwork so that those kids can go get the free physicals, because that's a real plus for those athletes. So encouragement to them. Also, we're excited about Friday the 13th at 6 p.m. We usually have what we call the music festival. This year we're actually calling it Bobcats Got Talent. So some of our kids are doing individual type talents. We have musical instruments being played, some singing, just different things going on. So we're really excited about that. Hope y'all can attend if you're available. And then one more thing on that, there's no admission cost, get in free. We are having cakewalks and there will be concessions. Cakewalks are always fabulous up there. Everybody loves to get one of them, including my husband. So we encourage everybody to come and participate in the cakewalk. As you can tell, he loves those. Finally, our graduation promotion ceremony for the 8th graders is Tuesday, May 17th. Tuesday, May 17th at 10 in the morning. And again, that's on your May activities that I sent you in the email in case you need that. And I'm sure you're glad all I have unless you have questions. Okay, thank you. Miss Tanya.
Right. Thank you very much. What Miss Stanley forgot to say is they didn't have to pay to get in, but they're going to have to pay to get back out the door. Is what she forgot to add. As she said, it is Teacher and Staff Appreciation Week, and we've been having some outside vendors coming in and loving on all the staff this week, which is outstanding. Actually have it for next week. There were so many people that wanted to say thank you to all the educators and staff in the schools that literally they have stuff planned almost every morning, from massages to nail stuff coming in during their planning. So I was very excited. So once I get an entire list of that, I'll share that with you all. So very appreciative of all of our community stores and businesses that just want to say thank you to these educators and staff that have been working so hard into the buildings now since COVID has died down some. So very appreciative of those folks coming in. As Ms. Stanley said, TCAP was a little bit different this year, mostly because all the directions they sent, most of them were wrong. Then they would email you the night before and say, number 12 on page 37 of whatever. So you're having to go tell your teachers that are already stressed out, let's switch page 12 of your teaching of your prompt. And it happened almost every day of testing from the State Department. So I'm not sure what to say about that, other than the teachers and the students did exceptionally well getting everything done. This week we did start our MAP benchmark assessments in our screeners for K through 8. Thankful to those laptops, we're able to do those in batches. So my grades 5 through 8 can get finished testing with MAP in 2 days now with that laptop initiative. So still very appreciative of technology for that. There's a lot of things going on in May. I'm going to send you an email. I had that ready, but I realized our pre-K promotion got switched just a little bit. They were going to the zoo, and the zoo is so packed they had to switch that date. So my pre-K promotion is now going to be on the 18th instead of the 20th, and they're going up to the zoo on the 20th, only because there were so many classes already going there. But I will get that calendar sent out to you. And as Ms. Stanley said, we had 11 teachers that won First National Bank mini grants. So very proud of those folks and getting those done. As she said, on May the 12th, my students go in grades 5 through 8 to Boys and Girls Club to get their free sports physicals. They have to be there at 12:15. Takes them a couple of hours. They're back before the buses run, so nobody has to go pick those students up. We are having a blast from the past carnival on May the 20th from 5:30 to 7:30. Hours, you do have to pay to get in, just $2 though. Students are performing. We are having food trucks there, carnival games. Students got to win free tickets to the 2-hour carnival just for being there for attendance. And I would like to say we had 100% attendance on our TCAP. Very excited for all those folks. We had one that came in late. I'm still going to count him because they still came in and was able to finish that TCAP assessment. So very proud of those students at Birchfield and those teachers for encouraging us and all those parents for getting those kids there on time. And I don't have anything else unless you have something.
Just Tom, what you say, promotion ceremony was again?
For pre-K, it's going to be on Wednesday, May the 18th. It was scheduled for the 20th, sir.
In the eighth grade?
I'm sorry, it's the 17th at 5:30.
You'll get ours the same day. You can go one at 10 and the next one at 5.
And I'll send that updated calendar to everyone.
And Mr. Cash.
I'll echo a few things that Ms. Tanya and Ms. Stanley has already mentioned. Finished TCAP last week. I think our TCAP went a little smoother than some of the other schools. We got we was only missing a few items compared to some of the other schools, so I feel fortunate as far as that. Teachers were pleased with a huge majority of the students' effort. I hope that translates into scores. We'll wait and see on that. I think the kids tried their best, and teachers were pleased with that. We are also currently map testing. Like Ms. Tanya said, the laptops, when we first started doing the map testing, it took us 3 weeks to get everything in. Now we're able to do it in 2 or 3 days. So appreciate the board, Ms. Amanda, Mr. Hall, Mr. Vaughn, as far as the laptop initiatives and working with the ESHRE and getting that going. It's really helped with the map testing. Our 8th grade graduation is Thursday the 19th at 1 o'clock. And then one other thing I'd like to mention is our 8th, well, it's not 8th grade, but our school play that we've started the last few years is going to be next Thursday on the 12th. We'd love for everyone to attend. I think it starts at 6:30. Kids have been working hard since about February. First one we've had in about 2.5 years. So it's exciting, and there's a few kids that were in 6th grade that were able to participate in the last one we've done. But most of these kids, this is the first time. They've really worked hard. We've already built a set in the gym and really come together. And I would love for everyone to come out if possible. And that's all I have, unless you have anything with me.
Thank you. Ms. Goodman.
Yes, can you hear me? Okay, I'm hearing an echo, so I apologize. I'm not going to repeat everything because I have almost the exact same things that everybody else has said. Our graduation is on the 18th at 10 o'clock. Physicals for our athletes is the 12th. We have to be up there by 8:15, so we're going to be pulling out of here at 8 that morning, just as soon as the kids can get here. So ours is early in the morning. We do have calendars, and plus our website, it is packed. We have got several things every single day the rest of the month, just like everybody else. It's really, really busy. Testing, we are definitely in testing mode. I think that's all we're doing is testing. After TCAP, you're going right into MAP. So it's stressful. It's stressful on the teachers. It's stressful on the students. But everyone is doing a fantastic job, which leads me right into Appreciation Week. As the other principals have already said, it takes everybody, and we appreciate the parents for their support, our teachers who are working diligently, the students who are giving their best effort. We are pleased with everybody, thankful for everybody. I feel very, very blessed to work in this county, to work with the people that surround me, and I appreciate everything that everyone does. And I'm going to hush. I'm not going to say anything else because everything else will just be a repeat of what everybody else has said.
Okay, thank you. Miss Amy Jeff Private.
Yes, hello everyone. I'm like Miss Donna, pretty much everything that I was going to say has already been said, so I won't bore you with that. Our TCAP went really well. We did have 100% participation, and we had very good luck with our materials. We got all of that stuff in, so we were just on a good roll. It was unacceptable, though, on the state's part because there were so many mistakes in the test. That was very disappointing. There were some questions that didn't have to be answered by the students because the answers were wrong. And that's always disappointing because we had already finished our test by the time we got those corrections in. But I guess there's a different time and place for that. But the students went right along with it. The teachers did, and I feel like they did a great job. We are doing MAP. And because all the students have their own computer, we will get that finished most likely this week, with the exception of a lot of our students right now are battling the flu. We've had 2 grade levels greatly affected by that, so hopefully they'll be back in. I know they'll be back in before the window closes, so we'll get that finished. I will send you all a detailed list of all the events coming up, but in particular, our 8th grade promotion ceremony will be on the 19th at 6 o'clock. And really between now and then, we're finishing up MAP testing, benchmarking in our Easy CBM, and all of our classes are taking their field trips. So it's a busy, busy time, but we're almost finished. So the teachers have done great, and I so appreciate our faculty and staff at Robbins. We've got a great group of people that work down there.
Who's Rector? Scott High.
Good afternoon, everybody. I will try not to repeat anything. Some of our stuff will have similar ring to it, but maybe just a little bit different from the other principals. But we did complete EOC testing last week, and now we're working on that roster verification process with teachers. That's a little more tedious and a little difficult with our teachers because they have to do that for both fall and spring at the same time. So they're having to pull back out that old information from fall. So that takes a little bit of, that's a bit challenging having to go back that far, but we did finish that. We didn't have quite the headaches with testing that they experienced maybe with the TCAP. We did test online. And barring some very small things there, that testing, it seemed to go pretty smoothly there. But I agree with Ms. Jeffers. As far as the State Department goes, guys, it's just simply the repeat of problems that we have year after year in this high stakes testing is just simply unacceptable. So I do encourage you all, when you go to your legislative sessions or your sessions with TOS, when you're with those larger groups that have a bigger voice, at some point our state is really going to have to look at this testing system, and it's going to have to become more manageable for them, because right now it's just simply not manageable. We are paying hundreds of millions of dollars for a testing system that we do not get valid data from, and that the tests aren't correct. So as a system, we can have a voice in that too. So I encourage you to do that when those platforms are appropriate. We did have prom last Saturday. That went well. Everybody made it out, had a great time, and made it back home safely, which is always very important night. This Friday, we will bring all of those 8th grade students will come on campus to Scott High. Thanks to Mr. Shannon and Miss Maria Bruce and the elementary counselors for organizing a CTE fair and registration here at Scott High. So we're thankful for that. Be able to get that done this Friday. Then we have baccalaureate service that will be Sunday, the 8th at 7 p.m. Brother Kevin Sexton from Amazing Grace Baptist Church will be hosting that ceremony this year. So please come out and join us on Sunday evening to honor those seniors. And graduation, of course, will be on Saturday, the 14th at 10 a.m. here at Scott High. As the other schools, we also have sports physicals. Ours are on the 16th. We do have a group of football physicals on the 17th, but again, Those are free of charge physicals. And so we encourage any student who thinks they might want to participate in athletics next year, go ahead and get that free physical. It doesn't commit you to anything, but it does save your parents a little bit of money. So we encourage them to go ahead and get that done with those groups. Upperclassmen registration will take place the week of the 16th through the 20th. So it's very important, even though graduation is on the 14th, it is very important that all students continue coming to school until that last day, because we have a lot of really important things that will take place after that. Field day, we'll have a field day for our students on the 25th, and then the red and white football game will be on the 27th that evening. And again, as everyone else said, I just want to express appreciation for our faculty and staff here at Scott High School. I'll be honest, they're the reason that, that everybody gets up and comes to work every day. They enjoy being with, we enjoy being with each other. They're a hard working group of people, from our, office assistants and secretaries to our school nurse to our, maintenance, cafeteria staff, and teachers. Everyone is just wonderful to work with and a joy to be around. And so just very thankful that I get to spend each day with these guys. Another group that I do want to show, just mention and give appreciation to, I know tonight they're going to present the memorandum of understanding that we worked on. So that collaborative conferencing team, I just want to give a moment of appreciation for that group. Those meetings, sometimes we're discussing some tough things, but I really appreciate that group. They were great to work with, and I thought the discussions were productive and engaging, and but above all, professional. And so just really appreciate that group and the efforts that went into creating that document. That's all that I have.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Rector, what time was the backyard service?
7 p.m.
7 p.m. Thank you.
Ms. Hamilton, do something with this issue.
Chef surgery.
Oh, okay. Hey, Mr. Shannon, you want to go next? Yes, ma'am.
From the CTE side, I do have an agenda item. Be asking the board to consider our budget revision number 3. It's a very small adjustment just to allow us to get those federal funds in different line items to balance the budget. Also, as part of the budgets that you have for consideration, our FY23 Perkins basic budget is in that packet as well. So we'll be asking you to please review and approve that. We're also, as Ms. Rector had mentioned, very excited to welcome the Scott County Schools 8th grade students to Scott High to tour, visit, learn about the CTE programs of study that we have to offer. That is the same day that they'll be touring facilities at TCAT. They'll also be going to Rome State. And after that, through a lot of work with Ms. Rector, Ms. Maria Bruce, and others, the group is able to do all of those things in one day. So it's going to be a big day this Friday and a good day. So we do want to welcome those students and look forward to a very big success. On the maintenance side of it, our maintenance crews have been very busy, working hard to keep up with the maintenance requests. The TCAP testing has slowed the amount of requests coming in, so they've been able to kind of get caught up on some backlog requests. They've also been able to work on several other larger projects, working on the Scott High School, Huntsville Middle School nursing offices. They're nearing completion on the Winfield Elementary press box, and also planning and prepping for other summer projects. So we're very appreciative of Greg Claiborne and that entire group and all that they do. From the textbooks, just giving you an update on that. Now that TCAP testing is winding up, it's time to be getting retooled for next school year. So our consumable textbooks for next school year will be starting to be delivered as early as next week. So those will be rolling into the elementary and high schools. All orders are placed in the vendors, from the vendors along with Tennessee Books, and those will be delivered as soon as possible now the testing is over. So unless anyone has any questions, that's all I've got.
Thank you. Miss Debbie, special ed.
Okay, I do have some things for the agenda. We're needing to move some money on our line items, and that is under the federal amendment. So it's just moving money from one category to another to make sure that we meet all of those needs. Working on our CFA application, you all do have a copy of that up there for our IDEA Part B and our preschool Part B. Our preliminary allocations were the same as last year, but again, it's preliminary, so we're hoping that we stay the same or maybe increase as far as our budget is concerned. We will be having our summer school, our extended school year for our students in the CDC classroom, May the 31st through June the 13th. So I think you all will have a copy of those people that will be working with that. And then you also have a recommendation as far as our bids for our related services. It's the same groups that we have used in the years past. We really didn't have any new groups that bid on our related services. So you have those, and we'll hope that you'll approve those. And just some things that are going on in our special ed program. Right now, it's just such a busy time. We're trying to get in all of our eligibility meetings, all of our reevaluation meetings, IEP meetings before the end of school, hopefully before that last week, because in times past, we've worked on that abbreviated day trying to get that stuff in. We did get results back from our IEP monitoring. We were written up on 3 areas, which wasn't significant when I talked to the monitor today. So we're hoping to do training. We have to do training and provide our agenda, our sign-in sheet, and all of that. So we've got to get that done before school ends. We just finished up our parent survey. Those surveys had to be submitted by May 3rd. So all of our schools were given surveys to send out to parents who might have a child that's receiving those special ed services. We are having our CRT training. That will be May the 17th with Matt Eldridge for some of our teachers, especially in those schools that we may have some children that have significant behavior issues. So that will be for some teachers and assistants. And I believe that's it, unless you all have any questions.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Amanda.
Yes, I've got several things for the agenda. First, there's a fiscal pre-monitoring support grant that you have a copy of, and this just allows, I think I use Bergenstein and Nassabit. They're going to virtually, I think, look at our policies, look what we're doing with ESSER, and make sure we're just all in line with everything. And it was $67,000 free, so they're going to come in and monitor us, and we're just going to make sure we're doing everything we're supposed to be doing correctly there. The second thing I have is approved the CFA. Within that is what Ms. Debbie mentioned, the IDA Part B and IDA Preschool. And then I've also got Title 1A, Title 1D, 2, 4, and 5. And you have copies of those budgets. You also have a copy of Ms. Paulette's food service budget as well. And then GP Amendment 9, that's just to clean up. Hopefully that's the last cleanup of GP Amendment. And then it also has the land purchase on there, and then all the teacher retirements and their sick days on there. Federal Amendment number 10 is also on the agenda. You've got Ms. Debbie's on there, and then on ESSER 3, I needed to move a little bit to insurance to make sure ESSER was covered there. And you also should have a copy of the April BP estimate. I know Mr. Hall will probably talk to you about that. And then you also have an Excel sheet that has a breakdown of all the retirement teachers and all the non-certified and how much that costs, and that's reflected on GP Amendment number 9. And then summer school starts May 31st, and that budget has to be in by this Friday, May 6th. So if I can get all that in, I'll be sending you a copy of those 4 budgets as well by Friday, and then I'll add that to the agenda. That's all I have, unless y'all have any questions.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Linda.
Well, for the past month, it's been getting ready for testing and then trying to get everything ready to send out. Right now, we have 104 boxes downstairs that'll be shipped out tomorrow, and all those are non-scorables. And we're probably already shipped out about 50 boxes of the regular scorables of the achievement test. But I do have to say, as several principals have mentioned, the state has really made testing a challenge this time. They have, for example, Huntsville Middle School, they didn't get any ELA booklets. And that was due that first week, Monday, after we had tested for a week and a day. They had to ship out that next week. Huntsville Elementary got very few. In some cases, it was in the visibility tool, but we didn't get the book. And then in some cases, they double shipped. I shipped 15 boxes out last week that we did not even need. So they, and as somebody else said, the ELA would be due on Friday, we'd have a week, and then Thursday we would get, and we'd be finished, and we would get a memo from the state saying, you know, there's an error. Well, we were already finished. Our students were already finished. So it was a challenge, just to say the least. But we are finished, on our way. They'll be shipped out tomorrow, as I said. And I would like to mention that I'm so appreciative of the people who helped me with that, because it was really, we had so many test boxes. And the principals were so good to bring them to me. I remember a time when we had so few that Curtis Bruce and I would go to school, and he'd load them up and we'd bring them down. But now, I think Huntsville Middle had 33 boxes today to send back. And so they have just, you know, they have been so good. They bring them over, and Keith and Brent would help unload them and get them ready to ship out tomorrow. So not only are we so appreciative of all of our teachers and staff and everybody, but especially for testing. Everybody was such a help to me. I can't say thank you enough. And the other thing I want to mention is we do have 27 teachers that have signed up again for the early reading training, the ones that did not take it last summer or last fall. So 27 additional teachers, and that will be scheduled the week of June the 13th to 17th, and they will have they'll have the certificate they need in order to renew their license, and they will receive $1,000 stipend. So they do have to do the virtual part, and then they have to do the in-person week. And then for the secondary literacy training, we have 28 of those teachers, and this was so available for like middle school and high school teachers. And we had several actually high school teachers that took advantage of this. So it was a chance for them to get some specialized training that they would need, no matter what they taught, whether they taught ELA or social studies or science or whatever it was. So that week is June 20th through 24th. So that will be two good trainings that we will offer. And again, those teachers will, they'll do a virtual week, and then they'll come in person for a week, and then they'll get the $1,000 stipend. So right now, pretty much that's been my whole month. But I'm very thankful that it's nearly over with as far as testing goes. And that's all I have right now.
Okay, so thank you. Being busy. Mr. Shoemaker, do you have anything?
Yes, ma'am, I do. I have small agenda items. One of them falls directly under Miss Amanda's, and that's my amendment, my budget amendment for this school year to do a cleanup. I had to move a few line item monies around to make everything balance out. So that's on there for this time. And finally, it's that time of year also for the district application. It's what I have to do every single year. The information I have to fill out, I gave that in your packet up there. You should have it. I will say it's my action plans, goals, objectives, and things. And I'm sorry, but it may not look as neat and easy to read as it once did in times past, but everything now is on e-plan, and it is not finalized yet. Till you approve it, the state's already kind of reviewed it and gave me my corrections, so I've made those corrections, but you have to approve it before I can finalize it in e-plan, and then they will then send me a document back that's got it all nice and neat and pretty. So that has my action plans and goals and objectives, and also my next year's budget in there also. So that is in there for you to approve this month. And as some of the principals have already mentioned, next month in May, or this month in May, we do have May 12th and 16th sports physicals at the Boys and Girls Club. We're very appreciative of the Boys and Girls Club for allowing us to have this at their facility for 2 days. Thankful for the bus drivers that drop them down. And we're very thankful for Mountain Peoples that work so hard to send their employees, their nurses, their providers down to perform the sports physicals for free on our students. You also have TCAP nursing class, our school nurses. You have Big South Florida Physical Therapy. They send people in to kind of help with this. So there's a lot of people taking part in this, and also Grace Primary, Dr. Tim Smith in his office for doing our football. So I just want to thank our community for helping us out with that to provide those for our students free. And as far as a small project going on, we will be tinting the windows here in central office. So the schools have been completed. Now we have central office to complete. And then we were unable to do a few windows at Fairview back whenever we took care of Fairview because of some obstructions. And now we've got those obstructions out of the way, and he's going to go back up there and finish that. So that will be completed probably this month or the start of next month. That's all I have for you, unless you have any questions for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Bowles, do you have anything?
Yes, I have one thing for the agenda. Extended utilization. We have 16 buses that we need to extend. It's at a cost of $770 per bus. That's 2 inspections for the year. We have a lot of trips coming, a lot. Everything at the garage is going very well. Our state inspection starts tomorrow. The state inspector will be here just 1 day this week, and he's going to come back next week and finish the rest of them up. So we have a total of 30 buses that we're going to be doing within the next 5 days. So that's all I have, unless you have any questions.
Okay, thank you. How many did you have something?
I think Mr. Hall would need to do a demonstration.
Yeah, with Mr. Bond, was he? Yeah, it's kind of going with Mr. Duncan. Mr. Bond kind of explain our new technology that's in our classrooms and stuff. He can kind of give you all a quick overhaul.
This is Mr. Duncan.
Thanks for the help. This is the basic setup that every classroom teacher is going to have. This is a Promethean active panel. And then this is a external monitor that goes along with it. And the concept and the idea that we came up with when we were doing this was the thought when we had all these kids that were quarantined and had to be at home. And this was the ideal setup to be able to teach them distantly through this whole process. And if you'll bear with me for a minute, I'll kind of go through and show you a little bit of how it works. The panel itself has a computer attached to the back of it. And so I'm going to switch over to it. Everything on this thing is touch. It's kind of like a gigantic iPad. And so there's our computer. And the thought was, I'm going to have to change people here. Bear with me for a second. I want to demonstrate with you a little bit with Teams because we're going to use Microsoft Teams. And like I said, every classroom will have this. Every student will have the opportunity to use this in their class. I'll take it a second to come up. But the thought was with this cart is that it has a webcam on it and a document camera. And so in the classroom, each teacher will have this. They'll be able to have their panel up in front of their classroom, take their external monitor and kind of turn it to the side like this. And when they connect over Teams, they will be able to see their students that are at home and be able to address them as they're teaching and teaching their class that's in front of them as well. It's kind of like the old distance learning setup that we had back in 2007 and 8 when we were doing algebra with the 8th grade classes. Ms. Sharp remembers that, I think. She got to see it in action quite a bit. I don't know if my computer's going to come up here or not. It's not going to cooperate. Give it a second. But anyway, the idea is that you connect over Teams, and this monitor is an extension of your desktop, and you drag your Teams over to this monitor, and you can control it from here while you also address your students. So the whole idea with distance learning is you have to give them at least the perception, okay? Because you can't always happen, but give them the perception that you can see what they're doing. So you have them here where you can see them, they can see you, and then you can teach your class as well. That was the whole idea behind this setup. Any idea what this is doing?
What, did you have to log out?
Yeah. I switched
Switch your
users.
camera?
I switched users. Anyway, as I said, this panel is all touch, so the teacher can bring up their stuff that they're working on, their Promethean math, their online textbook, a YouTube video, whatever they want to use in implementing their class and teaching their class. And they could switch it over so that their students see on their screen, their laptops, they've all got laptops, they can see what's on the teacher's screen at the same time, simultaneously. And the teacher, by virtue of the monitor, the external monitor, can see what the students are doing because they have their cameras on their laptop, have the cameras turned on, and so you can connect with them that way. That was the whole idea behind this whole setup. And it looks better when it works.
We weren't really planning to do the whole thing tonight. But basically, this little cart here on the side, it kind of acts as a camera dolly. So like the teacher can get up in front of the classroom and then we can take this and wheel it back. And it will be looking at him kind of like you all are. And that gives the feeling of participation from the class, from the students at home, like they're part of the classroom.
For the schools that's already got the boards in, have they already got the stands also?
We're adding those.
Okay.
Right.
How's that going so far?
It's going pretty well. We're doing it as quickly as we can.
Are the teachers, liking it pretty good?
Yeah, they seem to be, and we're trying to do it without disrupting too much too. It's hard to do it, especially this time of year. We're trying to be very careful about all the testing and everything that's taking place. We can probably do a lot more now that that's kind of out of the way. But just to demonstrate to you, this monitor is an extension of your desktop.
Yeah.
Since it didn't want to let me log in as me, I can't really bring up Teams, but I can bring this up to show you the idea. So if this was Teams and I was using Teams to do this, I could operate my team meeting while I'm working here. Let's say I'm going to use my Promethean software. Drag this out of the way. So if I'm sitting here working a math problem and I'm presenting that in Teams on the student's computer, their laptop, they're going to see this. And I'm going to be able to see what they're doing. And there's a whole lot more things that can be done with it. You can do things where you can interact with them and send them things over to their laptop. They can respond right at the instant and send their information back to you or the response back to you, to your computer, but I won't get into all that because it's pretty detailed. But anyway, just wanted to show you what we have. And as I was telling Mr. Hall the other day, we really need to publicize that we got this stuff. Because we need some positive publicity. Don't do that well enough here. We can do better. And so, I mean, if I had a kid, I'd want my kid to be involved with this.
So is this in place now or is it for?
We are in the process of putting it in place. We have Winfield, we have Birchfield, we're working on Huntsville. Saying we're done with Huntsville, we'll probably go to Fairview, and Robinson, and Scott. It'll all be done, should be done before school starts next year. Now, we're gonna do in-depth training. The way the process is working right now is that we're going into the classrooms, we're putting this in. I'm walking through some of it with the teacher, but I can't spend a whole lot of time with them because I don't want to take away from the class. And so I'm just giving them enough to get them going. Then in the summer, we'll offer some in-depth trainings. I already talked to Mrs. Bond at Birchfield, and she's going to schedule a day when we go back, when we have some of those in-service days. And I'm going to meet with our entire staff and work. So they'll be pretty knowledgeable. And many of them already are, because some of them have already used this technology quite a bit. But I tell you, it's pretty awesome. And there's not a lot of school systems that have all this, folks.
And if I can add something to that, I have a student that is nonverbal in kindergarten that can now interact with that active panel because he can go up and touch it and move everything. It is being outstanding in that classroom.
Amazing.
Sorry, it was so scattered.
This is great.
Yeah.
It's very proud.
I'm taking enough of your time on.
Thank you, Mr. Duncan.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Thank you. Very good. Yes, thank you. I think Miss Paulette, Miss Esther, did you say Miss Paulette? Yes. Could she had an appointment today and I think they tried to connect her and couldn't connect her to you all. So she has sent me a text and asked me to present these things for her. Okay, I may do that. Okay, she said for the agenda, she needs to renew the IWC T&T Produce and Smart Mouth Pizza. That needs to go on the agenda, she says. And also Mayfield Milk and Ice Cream. Mayfield will be getting out of the equipment business and they want to give us the coolers that we're currently using, but we will maintain it ourselves. And she would like permission to be able to sign the release to accept the meal coolers. And then, as Miss Amanda said, Miss Paulette gave her budget, so she has that for you. Also, on Friday, this Friday, May the 6th, it is School Lunch Heroes Day. Basically, your cafeteria workers day. We've had the administrative professionals and teacher appreciation, and this Friday will be for the cafeteria workers. So, had those people on the back too. We couldn't make do without our cafeteria workers. So that will be their day on Friday, this Friday, May 6th. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, have I overlooked anybody? Mr. Hall.
Thank you very much.
Did you have something?
I didn't know if Mr. Rogers wanted to talk about the MOU.
Yeah, I didn't know what the time for presenting that is.
We've got on the budget to be presented, so.
If we're here to answer any questions as you're deliberating it, and you reached at any time. It was a really good process. The instructor mentioned it earlier. It can be hard to talk about difficult things, but everyone wants the same things, and everyone was really open-minded about, all right, let's aim really high, and let's see what we can do from there, and what we can't do, and narrow it over there. No one was trying to undercut anybody or stop anybody short. It was a very open, free process. It was nice. I don't want to do it every year, but it was nice. So thank you to everybody that was involved in that, and we're hoping that everybody finds it copacetic. And again, we're here to answer any questions you got.
Yes, it's mine.
Okay.
Thank you very much. We'd like to, for the agenda, we'd like to ask the board to approve the following overnight out-of-state trips. Principals with the Spring Lift Network meeting, Nashville, Tennessee, May 9th and 10th. The nurse supervisor and pre-K nurse at the School Nurse Conference in Lebanon, Tennessee, June 1 and 2. Distance Learning Coordinator to the Tennessee Educational Technology Summer Institute, White House, Tennessee, July 13 and 15th. The Aware Director, Nashville Directors Meeting, Nashville, Tennessee, May 19th and 20th. Also, the Aware Director, Social Workers and Counselors to the Youth Mental Health Meeting, Nashville, Tennessee, May 12th and 13th. Also, would like to approve the travel reimbursement rates, which I think has gone from 47 cents to 58 cents. Is that correct, Ms. Amanda?
Yes.
For gas. Also, would like to ask the board to approve the memorandum of understanding between the Scott County Board of Education, Scott County Education Association, and the Scott County's Collaborative Conference and Team. You do have that in your package. Please look over it, look at it, have questions. Contact me, you can contact Mr. Rogers, contact the principals that was on the Collaborative Conference and Team, Ms. Rector, Ms. Stanley, Ms. Tanya, was you on that also? I think we had some members of the central office that were also on the team, so if you have questions, please reach out. That's all for the agenda items that we have. Real quick, the graduations, you have a copy of all those. Starting on Saturday, May 14th, Scott High School, 10 a.m. I'd like to remind everyone as you come to the back of the park, there'll be someone waiting on there. We'll open the gate for you, I'll park you in the back. I would suggest get there early or as early as possible due to traffic. Winfield, Tuesday, May 17th, 10 a.m. Birchfield, May 17th, 5:30. Fairview, Thursday, May 19th, 1 p.m. Huntsville Middle School was that Wednesday, May 18th, 10 a.m. Robbins, Thursday, May 19th at 6 p.m. I know Ms. Stanley mentioned the Secretary Appreciation Week was last week, and this week is Teacher Appreciation Week, the day being Teacher Appreciation Day. Very thankful for what everyone in our school system does on a daily basis, not just for Teacher Appreciation Week, but every day. Every day. What they do is phenomenal. And I'm not just proud of them this week or this day, but every day is their day. Because they're the heroes on the front line, people in the school system that are doing the job daily to produce productive citizens for Scott County. We're very proud of that fact, that we do a good job of that here. So if you get a chance, please thank a teacher, thank an administrator, thank a secretary, thank your cafeteria workers this Friday. So we have a lot to be proud of. A lot. I know Ms. Keaton and the president mentioned problems with the testing, part of the course. So when that time comes, we have our voices heard, we will. We reach out to our representatives, we reach out to our state senators, we reach out to any legislator that you can think of, that you know, that make our voices heard. Then we have to get this problem solved. We spend millions of dollars in this state, and it's been years where we've not got it right. So it's time that we fix the issue, fix the problems, and get the things done that needs to be done, and get it done correctly. So people have to be held accountable when these things happen. So we need to get it right. One last thing, very thankful for all the people that get the sports physicals throughout the year. I know Mr. Shoemaker plans to get this done with a lot of work with our principals, our coaches, Mount People's Health clinics, and everyone that's involved, bus drivers, to get schedules and stuff to get them there. So very appreciative of what they do, and as we mentioned earlier, the principals take advantage of this thing, whether you play or not. Take advantage of this. And that way, if you decide 2 weeks in the season you want to play, it's there. And it's going to save your parents some money. But please make time and effort to get that done. We'd like to announce that Mr. Dale Lynch, there may be some other members with the Tennessee Organization of School Superintendents, will be attending our next board meeting on May the 12th. So we're looking forward to Mr. Lynch to be here. And guys, that's all I have, unless y'all have any questions for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I had a couple of things for the board. In order for us to be a board of distinctions, one of the things we need to do is go over our policy book.
and I have, give everybody a copy. And I got it before station. Let's each one take a group of these and go over it. And then come back at our next work session. And if we have questions or anything, we can discuss these things, so. And there's about enough for each person, take a group of these. Lou said he wanted to take that, community relations, but I told him I already had that one. Anyway, do y'all want to pick a certain part that you want to look over and review it and then come back if we have questions and comments about it? And
What's the shortest part?
One we've already got.
Oh, that's the one. What's the next shortest part?
We want to give Tommy the first section and you the second and Linda the next.
Go down the line. There you go.
Just go down the line. Okay. Okay.
Ms. Esther, can I add one thing when you're finished? Okay. In your packet too, you did receive our VEP allotment. I failed to mention this, I do apologize. We did, it wasn't as bad as what we thought. We are about $1.1 million short from where we were at this time in 19 and 20. Last year we were held harmless, but this year we were not due to the decrease in enrollment. Our fund is about $1.1 million short starting this fiscal year. Now, we do know that with TISA, when it's come to 23-24 school year, that there's going to be an increase. We do know that. But also inside with that $1.1 million short, there is an increase in teacher salaries line item for $273,000. They'll be adding the teacher salaries this year. Kind of looking, we're not for sure what the state minimum salary will be, but it looks like year zero will be about $1,750 raise, what we're thinking. So in years 1, 6, and 11, we'll have to, make those raises in those areas. And then we'll adjust from there as we go. But we do know that we're going to be getting $273,000 that will be increased specifically for salaries this year. Now, with the deficit of 1.1 million, we're looking at some absorption and some things, not just always in spots, but cutting in other areas that we can do in the budget. We did have 22 retirements, which we will announce those names as we have our retirement ceremony for those people, teachers, and well, they're 19 non-certified, is that correct?
There's
16. I think it was 38 total, is that correct? So that took advantage of the early retirement incentives we had this year. For some jobs that left that have to be filled. Some of the people that are retired, those positions have to be filled. So we will make sure, number one, that we fill all those positions that have to be. We will look from that point in time. We're going to start looking at the budget tomorrow. Hopefully, with the retirement stuff, that no one's going to lose a position. That's the hope. It's always been the hope. But there will be some spots because of decreased enrollment we'll be able to absorb. So it looks pretty good. We're very thankful right now. Looking forward that not as bad as what we had thought. To be honest, I kind of looking, I was expecting about 2.4 million. That was kind of what we had looked for and estimated, but we've got 1.1, so that's bad, but it's workable, and we feel like that we can look at some things and do some things where we'll be able to save as many positions as possible. So you do have a copy of this in your packet. So have any questions on that? Please feel free to contact me or Amanda. Guys, I'm sorry I left that out for you, but that's all I have. If y'all have any questions for me.
Miss Esther, I checked and there's 42 different topics. There's 7 of us. 6 apiece. 6 apiece. Do we do that? Yeah. We'll do it too.
And keep Mr. Silcox in your prayers too, while he's at the academy. Yeah. All right, guys. Yeah. So he's had a good week. So keep in your prayers. Yes.
Okay. We can work on this after, yeah. Ms. Carlene, did you have anything?
No, I just want to thank Mr. Duncan and Mr. Bond for the presentation. I'm excited for our teachers to get this. I think it's going to be a real help
Absolutely.
in all areas. I want to thank our teachers and principals for all they do, and especially for what seemed to have been a very trying week, this past week. And thank you to all of our staff, all of our school employees. We couldn't do everything we do, as you all have said, without them. Everybody.
Very, very true. And I certainly agree, and I've been there on the testing issues and certainly understand that completely. And I appreciate all the work that's been done on the MOU. And just like I said, I know each area, what they do to help for the students.
I'm just thankful to everybody, no matter what part they play. Like Carlene said, we just couldn't do it without everybody.
We appreciate the teachers and all of our staff. We've done a great job.
Absolutely. Mr. Derrick.
There's one thing I learned as a school resource officer is springtime is one of the hardest, most frustrating times for school systems. So thank you for everything you've done lately, especially. Also, I graduated with Jordan Jeffers, who's leaving us as a coach at Scott High. I just want to wish him well specifically. I graduated with him, and I consider him a friend, but also seeing him coach and interact with the kids at Scott High, I'm very proud of the job he's done, and I wish him well.
Okay, thank you. And I'll have to agree with everything they've said. I appreciate the teachers and everything that you guys have done. I know it's not been easy, but I appreciate every one of you. And with that, we can
Miss
go
Sarah,
on.
can I say one more thing, please?
I'm
I
sorry.
forgot to make mention. This morning, most of you probably know who she is or remember who she was. My aunt, Ruth Birchfield, which is a 29-year member, teacher assistant here for the Scott County Schools. She passed away, and her husband, Esau Jr. Birchfield, worked and retired as a school teacher here. And plus, she was family to so many other employees of the Scott County school system that have retired or still currently working. So just remember her or their families, please, on for her passing and in the days to come. So just wanted to mention that to you.
I'd like to say, always such a sweet person. I mean, always had a smile when she was at schools and everything. I mean, just a wonderful lady.
Okay, everybody have a good afternoon, evening. So we'll meet briefly to figure out what we need to do.